I didn't like you anyways. Monomania by Car Seat.
Headrest?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are Chromatic Corner. I'm Ellie Achre, joined as always by our very special and beautiful co-host / real host. I'm the co-host. Say your name.
Owen. Yes, I started it earlier, but you kept talking over me. So what are we reviewing today?
Today, Monomania by Car Seat Headrest.
Yeah.
The famed sister album to an obscure album, Twin Fantasy.
Yeah. Is it as famed? I mean, how famous is it in like general music discourse? Like, it's not as well known.
Monomania or Twin Fantasy?
Well, I mean, Twin Fantasy is very well known.
Yeah, that's what I Monomania, I don't think is well known.
Yeah. It's like a little, I mean, like...
Because I feel like if anyone knows anything about Car Seat Headrest, it's either Killer Whales or it's Twin Fantasy.
Yeah. But I'm just curious, you don't see anyone really talking about it much, even like in comparison to like How to Leave Town.
Well, How to Leave Town's different.
How to Leave Town, yeah.
It's a different vibe. It's How to Leave Town.
Very different, yeah. That's true.
But we're not talking about How to Leave Town. We're talking about Monomania.
You can edit that out. Keep it in there. I don't know. It's interesting because it's like I'd say it's like one of Car Seat Headrest's most ambitious projects.
It is ambitious, that is for sure.
Because I mean,
he really stretches himself out.
Yeah, just I think sonically for the most part. Because I mean, like in storytelling wise, I feel like it's less ambitious than Twin Fantasy, but it's like more ambitious. Or maybe that's just because I'm more familiar with Twin Fantasy overall. But I feel like it's more ambitious sonically just listening to it. Especially when you consider the jump, like, fidelity-wise. I
would say, like, story writing-wise, that Monomania is definitely a lot more raw. I think he leans more into just, like, capturing the emotion than telling it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Twin Fantasy definitely captures emotion.
Yeah.
But I think that's really all Monomania sets out to do.
Yeah, I guess for better or worse. You know? For
better or worse, I will say there's times on this album where it's like, whoa, keep that to yourself, bud.
Yeah. So there's times where it's like there's a big screamy exclamation, and I feel like it doesn't hit that hard.
He's like, really yelling his heart out at certain points.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes so it's interesting.
Looking at you, Souls.
Souls is interesting. I never really listened to it that much before this week.
Yeah,
you know, I know I'm familiar with a lot of songs off it. Isn't this interesting situation? Because a lot of the songs on it are in teen style as well, and that's what I listen to more.
That is true.
And so that's where I'm more familiar with them. And so and those recordings on there, while they're different, they're also pretty identical, especially in comparison to like the My Back Is Killing Me Baby ones.
Yeah,
because like the Monomania ones are probably a lot closer to the Teens of Style versions. So it's just interesting because like there's about half of the track listing that I'm like, oh, I know super well, and the other half is like, oh, not so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's definitely interesting to see like where those ones like start off, even if they are pretty much the same. It is interesting to see what he could do by himself. Yeah, as opposed to label backing.
Yeah, so not lore-wise, but I mean like history-wise, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
So this was still just him, one-man production.
Yeah, this is all him.
Yeah, did he just improve his equipment or something?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Maybe he just figured out how to use it.
Yeah. No, it's very because the jump from Twin Fantasy. Because I'm just thinking about it now. Because like with the re-recorded Twin Fantasy out, it's kind of harder to remember like just how like kind of rough the first Twin Fantasy is sometimes. Because like it's just if I was listening to this back in 2013, it would have been astounding. Was this before or after Living While Starving?
This would be, I want to say after.
Oh, okay.
Because this is before, I want to say it's before How to Leave Town.
No, it's before How to Leave Town. How to Leave Town is 2014. I just know that Living While Starving and Monomania are both...
We're gonna get all the lore right.
2013. But, I mean, you're not going to figure out... Oh, you can look at the dates, actually, right?
Yeah.
It's always funny how It's Only Sex elevates Living While Starving up to, like, the third spot on that recommend. though like none of the other songs on there are well known.
They're not. And I find that sad. I think Cells is a really good song. Or Reuse the Cells.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it.
Not important. Honestly. Not what we're talking about. We're talking about Monomania.
This is obviously relevant, though.
Yeah, it's right after Nervous Young Man.
Nervous Young Man. Oh, is it really after Nervous Young Man?
Yep.
No way. Wait, let me look. Because like sometimes it can just be out of order. October 20. No way. That's all weird in my head.
Yeah, that's it. They were like 2 months apart.
Oh god, that's like messed my whole perception of like the canon.
That is kind of crazy to think about. Just this giant, just absolute dump of an album. Just this 2-hour-long behemoth with a secret other hour-long bonus album with it.
Yeah.
And then Monomania 2 months later.
That's so weird.
This brother really had no.
But when did Living While Starving come in? We didn't even check that.
We can check that. I'm sure our audience watching is just dying to know.
I mean, they probably already looked it up.
2013.
October.
Wait,
so
is that the same?
After. So that was after. Because Monomania was before.
October 27th, 2013. And we're looking at. It was dropped a day after.
That's so interesting. Yeah.
This is all on Spotify. If Spotify's wrong, then you know why we're wrong.
Okay, yeah, but we're not really fact checking it because it could very well be wrong on Spotify.
I want to say that's right. I don't see why you'd go back because he went back in time to put the release dates.
Oh yeah. No, when did that all get added on Spotify? Was it like later?
What?
Like how long after the release did it get added onto Spotify? Was it day and date, or was it like a while after? Because I know it was like he's always described as like a Bandcamp hero or success story.
I don't think he was on Spotify before he was signed.
Oh, before he was signed, that makes sense.
I don't know for sure.
Because it was kind of different, I think, back then.
Yeah, I assume it was pretty tough, pretty difficult to get on there.
Yeah.
Now you can just use DistroKid.
Yeah.
Pay $20, put as many albums as you want on Spotify.
For better or worse.
For better or worse.
Just the Instagram, dude. I'm regretting changing my reels now to just those awful. It's so bad. It's like every three or like every one normal one I get. There's like three that's just some guy in his bedroom.
Well, yeah, you willingly did that.
I know, and I'm facing the consequences. I mean, it's like it's not even deterring me from reels though, like I thought it was. I just have to like scroll faster through them. But
Objective failed.
I've gone from like it's kind of funny to like this is actively annoying. I can't believe there's this many people out there who think that they, I don't know. Because then it's so annoying when you see people like on those like comment sections being like, oh yeah, for context, I started tuning my reels on Instagram to only see like those artists with like 10 likes on their reel that are just like super crummy songs that have like 4 chords on an acoustic guitar, but like strummed with like really weak MIDI drumming in the background, with like super auto-tuned vocals that are really obnoxious. Just, you know, people who have the same lyrics about "I want you to like live with me forever" or something like that. I don't know, like it's all
Song of the summer,
yeah, like the song of the summer types. I just tune my reel to all that, so it's super like not like indie scene on Instagram. It's not even a scene. It's just like the bottom of the barrel. And so that's all it's been feeding me. And it's just like, it's so annoying when you go in the comments and you see people who are like complaining about being hated on. Because I saw that one podcast also I sent you, which is basically what we're doing now. So that, I mean, we can't.
But we do it better.
We do it better. But like they were like
with worse equipment.
They released like a reel that was like complaining about people making fun of them.
Did they?
Yeah, there was that was like, imagine me like a 30. They're trying to make digs, but they're just obviously just bad because they're bad at talking. they're just like, imagine me like 30 years old, getting home from your day job, and making fun of these teenagers online. But I'm like, you post there, when you post online, you subject yourself to online discourse. If you get bullied for what you post online, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Cause like I feel like it's like, we're not making fun of you because you're bad at making a podcast. We're making fun of you because you're trying to claim that you're able to make a podcast and you can't. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that's the difference. Same thing with music. It's like if you're releasing music and it gets made fun of, then it's like you can't be like, oh, why are you making fun of music that's not being supportive? It's like you're putting out there, you're claiming, okay, I can make music, and then people come in here and like criticize it, and like you can be nice about it. Like I feel like it's some people are unnecessarily mean, but I feel like just complaining about getting criticism in general is really lame.
That is lame. I agree with you.
Yeah, criticize in the comments below.
You know what I also agree with you on?
Yeah.
Souls is an awful song. I hate it.
You don't like Souls?
I'm anti-Souls.
I'm like, Souls is like, okay. I don't think it's great.
I just really hate the I just want to have sex with you part.
Okay, that part is
it's
dumb.
so uncomfy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it's a fine song besides that, and then when it gets to that part, I'm just like, I feel gross.
I don't know. I think it's interesting conceptually. I think that part is lame. The thing is, it has like really fun parts and really bad parts. Should we just start with talking about Souls?
Yeah, that's what we're starting off with.
That's probably the most interesting part of the album, because I think it really shows how like sonically diverse the album is, because it's really just, it feels like he's just throwing ideas at the wall. Especially knowing that it came after Nervous Young Man, then a lot of the parts sound really similar to other songs. Like it's kind of like self-referential, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like the part like pretty early on where it's like shit, I'm blanking on it. It was like it sounds like the I can't turn this thing off, it keeps following me.
Used to be so human, now it's just a machine.
Yeah, it's a I just need to take off, burst into motion. Like has a similar
I just
rhythm
need to
like, take
off, burst into motion. Raise my finger, say aha, say move in. It's
also,
easy.
that line's really funny. Just imagining him like, you know, because it's like, because I know like it's just charming. It's a charming line. I think that's one of the best parts of the Souls, honestly, just because of when the instrumentation comes in, when the drums and like that squealing guitar comes in. That's really cool. It's kind of out of left field. But I mean, Souls, it just doesn't have a direction though. Is its problem? Is it kind of makes it not hit? Is when you get to the end of it, you're not like, oh, I just underwent like a 10-minute journey. It's like you're just kind of like, I just heard 10 minutes of just like kind of.
It's only 8 minutes. Let's be fair.
It's 9 minutes and like 7 seconds. It's how long?
I thought there was like an 8-minute track.
9:41.
Is there not an 8-minute track in here?
Nope.
Is it? Mod Gone's like 5 minutes, right?
Mod Gone is like, yeah, 5:35.
Betchin' love Mod Gone. That is a good song.
That's probably the best song. This is probably my favorite.
I can't say it's my favorite. I think it's really good. I love Owen. The saxophone is exquisite, is it not?
It's a good saxophone. I love Mod Gone. That's one I'm one of the most familiar with, since I'm listening to that since like I was like.
I love the atmosphere around it. Every time I was listening to the album, I kept getting thrown off. I don't know why, but I always felt like once it got to Souls, it was Achre right after, and that was just the album. I always kept forgetting Mod Gone was after it.
Yeah, and then Sleeping with Strangers.
But
Sleeping with Strangers kind of gets leaped into Achre in my head a little bit, just because of it's such a drag line.
It's such a drag.
Like it feels like it's there to partially serve the payoff in Achre. So I'm like, I forget Mod Gone's.
Wait, explain that to me. I'm not connecting in my head.
Because of the end of, well, it sounds like gunshots. I was
yelling. It's like it's fireworks.
Well, I know it's fireworks. So it's like it was like in sync with like the yelling, and I got kind of spooked. But no, the
Suburbanite F.
Well, because it was the I actually didn't tell you why I was late. I can tell you later. I was talking about how incorrect. You didn't realize that's like the only line once the little acoustic portion is over, is like that it's such a drag, like him saying that over like a long.
He just does it again.
Do you want to hear it real quick? I
do want to hear it real quick. My memory's been thoroughly refreshed with 2 strums of a guitar.
Yeah. No. So that kind of interpolation, or kind of like reference. I don't think it's interpolation.
I don't think it's an interpolation.
But just the callback there, like I feel like
I love you using big words. Don't get me wrong.
It's kind of like makes Sleeping with Strangers feel like it kind of serves Achre, right? But which doesn't make Sleeping with Strangers less of a bop.
It is such a bop.
But it also doesn't make Achre much better of a song. Hot take. I don't know if it's a hot take. It's a hot take on like certain.
Achre is very slow and very mellow.
It's not,
and then
not
it's just,
problem.
you suck!
That's not my problem with it.
You son of a...
Yeah, you can't say that word.
No, this is a family-friendly show we have here.
Yeah. Like
Sleeping with Strangers, straight bop.
Yeah, it's very...
I have no problems with it.
Yeah, no, I don't have any problems with either. I think it's just very... it's a straightforward. It has a good catchy riff at the start. I mean, if you call it a riff, it's just chords. But if you call it a riff,
yeah, it doesn't need to do that much.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like up to this point, a lot of the album, when you get to Sleeping with Strangers, you've gone through the whole album basically, minus Achre, right? And it's a pretty mellow album, I would say. Up to that point, like at that point, you just got off of Mod Gone and Souls, and those are less energetic, boppy, I would say.
I mean, Souls
has its
energetic.
parts.
Souls is energetic.
I would say by the end of Souls, it slows down though.
A little bit, yeah.
And then Mod Gone's just completely slow.
Yeah, Mod Gone's super slow. So yeah, it does feel like a big jolt to the system. Because at that point you've been listening 15 minutes of like. Because I mean, like, yeah, Souls isn't really slow, but Souls you kind of get lost in it. Like, it's just by the nature of it, kind of drags a little bit.
And then what's right before Souls? I forget.
Right before Souls is just like the rest.
Los Borrachos. That is an upbeat one.
Yeah,
upbeat.
Overexposed,
rockin'.
I'd say, is kind of rocking. I guess it's a little slower.
It's a little slower. Times to Die really tugs the line.
Yeah.
It's definitely more rocky, like straight rock, but it's slower.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think... Okay, we'll just talk about, like, the general album progression. Because I feel like it starts and ends kind of weak, in my opinion.
It starts, like you're saying, it starts on a weak song, ends on a weak song.
Well, I think the opening is good. I think Romantic Theory is good, but then it's, like, it's kind of...
It's a good... I like it. I think it has an iconic opening.
Yeah.
That's why I did it in the beginning.
Yeah, it has an iconic opening. It like has a fun melody in it. It might go on slightly too long, maybe like if it was like a minute shorter.
I could agree with you, yeah.
But then I feel like Misheard Lyrics is probably the worst song on the album. Like I just think
that's fair. I've never completely gotten it.
Yeah, like it's kind of like I don't think anyone really gives that much. Do you know? Okay, actually, I was curious. Do you know like what happened with like the Nora Knight stuff? Like what?
I have no idea who that is. I didn't look into that at all.
Yeah, like I don't know why it got taken off, and I can't tell is it still Nora Knight singing, or is it like falsetto Will, or is it like half and half? Because it feels like it's half and half.
Oh, yeah, it used to just straight up say featuring Nora Knight.
Yeah, you used to say featuring Nora Knight and have like her linked there, but then like, are you have Nintendo Lava?
Okay.
Hey. Sorry. So you used to have her linked there, and it sounded like more of the vocals were her. But now it sounds like all the female vocals are like, or female sounding vocals are like falsetto Will. But then...
Is this true?
But then like I feel like some of them sound like Nora Knight.
Are we in Misheard Lyrics Gate right now?
I don't know what happened to it. I'm really curious if you went back and edited it. You'd have to listen to it later. But I feel like it changed, but I'm not sure. But maybe it never did. Maybe it was always just like that. And because I didn't really listen to it much before it got changed, I was noticing when it got changed.
There's another interesting thing I'm just noticing now. Souls is the only one tagged as explicit on Spotify. When Achre very explicitly starts screaming curses.
Yeah. That's interesting, actually. I didn't really notice that. Okay, but anyway, so I feel like... I don't know about Nora Knight, Yeah, but I feel like Misheard Lyrics in general is just... I like the piano at the start, or like whatever it is, that like keyboard. Yeah, like that's cool, but then it kind of falls off after the first like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I would say I was never that into it.
Yeah, I get the idea, like the central idea of like being like misheard lyrics or like the relationships, like misunderstand the relationships, and once you kind of like understand something, then you can't really go back to not understanding. I kind of get how that's like a interesting like because once you like hear a lyric right that you personally misheard, you can't go back, even though he might want to because you like the lyric before. But like honestly, that metaphor isn't so strong to me. I don't feel like it's very profound. It's kind of like oh, that's neat, rather than like let's base a song off of that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
It's just a really slow start.
I'll be honest. When I first up until you said that, I just never really questioned misheard lyrics, and I genuinely, up until you just said that, thought it was just a bunch of lines that he had heard wrong from other songs, and then just compiled them all into a song and made them strung them all together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I just kind of assumed it was.
Well, how would it...
And then I never really paid attention to it.
It'd have a lot less direction if it sounded like that. That's a very interesting... Because I feel like it pretty clearly has, like, a thread it's following.
It does. I'm saying it now, and I'm like, no, my old idea makes zero sense.
Yeah.
But that's just what I thought, and I was like, yeah, whatever.
But I feel like he probably did do that at some point. Because I feel like I mean, the chorus is very much, I can't go back to not understanding what you mean to me. Like that's, I guess, yeah. I don't know, it's just, overall, it's kind of like a miss of a song. I feel like then it being followed by Times Die is kind of brutal. Because Times Die
is a good song.
It's a good song, but it's kind of like, it's not like a hit.
Winding your way in my heart, let's make a deal. I always love the "let's make a deal" part.
Yeah,
something about it just sticks in my head.
No, I like that. I like that part, and also like the standing. It was like standing on your shoulders. I'll get to heaven standing on your shoulders, like that part.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of good lines in there, but it's like
it's a fun song.
It's a very fun song, but it's just like after being followed by like a opener that's good for opener, but a little draggy, and then the song that kind of drags on. Then it's kind of like it feels a little less impactful as it would if it was kind of cushioned by two like more heavy hitters. So I feel like in general, but then when you get to like Overexposed and Joy and Barachos, then it kind of picks up more.
Yeah, I will say. Nah, I won't say that. Moving on. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think Times Die is really good though, because I like the. I do feel like it's another song that kind of drags on slightly long.
I guess I can see where you come. I disagree.
I feel like the chorus gets to be too long because I think there's a lot of really good, like none of the verses I remove. Like all the verses are really strong. It's just and then he starts like mix around his vocals and stuff, and I feel like it's not entirely necessary. Like that we've all had.
I like it. I like what he does. It's reminiscent of how he does stuff on One, and I really like that album.
Oh, okay. Because there's like a Nervous Young Man song on Fang Face that has the same melody, right?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you on that one.
Yeah.
You apparently know a lot more about Nervous Young Man than I do.
And then there's like Nervous Young Man the album has. Well, I meant there's a Nervous Young Men song on Fang Face. The Nervous Young Man the album has like a part where he goes like, we've all had better times to shine. I assume that came after Times to Die, like referencing back to Times to Die. But Times to Die coming after doesn't. Yeah, that's why I always assumed it came after, or came before. I mean, because I thought that was a reference back to it. But I guess you really like the melody. That's very interesting. We haven't really talked about that much.
I feel like we have.
Well, we talked about quite a bit. Okay, we touched on Souls. We talked about
Los Barachos. Do you have anything to say about Los Barachos? I don't.
You don't? Really. That's like my favorite one.
That's your favorite one.
That's your favorite one because it's so fun. Because it's like
I'm not saying it's a bad song.
No, I know. Just like, but I like the drum intro is really good. Like it sounds really awesome. I like I feel like it's like the catchiest out of all the songs on there, at least to me. I don't know if you disagree with that.
I disagree with that.
I like the part where he's like talking about kicking the stall door.
Yeah.
Like where he's like, how's the line go? What would your friends think if they saw you in the bathroom kicking the stall door?
Yeah.
That part's so funny to me. I don't know.
They'd say, get out of your head for a while. Jump into mine, and it all repeat. And it says, if I had been everything
I think it's funny to imagine someone like having like a mental breakdown. Like that's probably also
it's so funny imagining people having a mental
like especially while high, and then their high friends are like just chill out. I'm sure that happens on a regular basis.
Probable que sí.
But I don't know. I think that song's really charming. I think that's one of the best ones. Like the part, the weather is nice. I think that's a funny line. I don't have any hope left, but the weather is nice is a funny idea.
I do like that one.
Yeah, and so I think the whole thing is just a hit. It's a banger. So I think I would put that as like my favorite one on the album. Probably. I think I know what your favorite one on the album is gonna be.
I mean, yeah, I kind of hyped it up earlier.
Wait, did you?
Wait, what do you think it's gonna be? Just tell me right now.
I thought it was. What's it even called? I mean, it's also one of my top ones. Don't get me wrong. I was kind of overexposed. Enjoy. Oh my god. Wait, were you talking about my god?
We were talking about all of those. No, we didn't talk about Overexposed at all yet.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah, we haven't even touched Overexposed. I love Overexposed.
I think Overexposed is a really good song.
I love it.
I remember that was probably the first song I ever listened to. I mean, obviously, other than like Romantic Theory, I didn't really like misheard lyrics. But Romantic Theory is like, oh, I really like that song, but it's like, it's when I first listening to it. I'll give comment. When I first listening to it after Teens of Style, you can cut out that whole part before I start over.
No.
Nope. I was first listening to it after Teens of Style. And then, Romantic Theory, I listened to that, and it's like, this is a song that was on Teens of Style. I like that. But it's also like an intro. It's not something you listen to that. And Misheard Lyrics was kind of a miss. But then you get to Overexposed and Joy, and then I'm like, oh, this is a really good song, and I've never heard that before. And then like the interpolation of, that's interpolation, right? When it comes from Twin Fantasy. Or at least the reference from Twin Fantasy with the Don't Worry.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
And then I think it's so, I like how it stands now in the discography, how like that song quotes Sober to Death, but then High to Death quotes that song. It's like a really neat placement. I think that's cool. That's kind of mind-blowing, listening to that for the first time. I was like, whoa, I recognize these lyrics from many different places.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, it's just a very quintessential car seat Headrest song. I'm just kind of surprised it was left behind, it wasn't taken in Teens of Style. I'm guessing
that is a really good point. This really should have.
Yeah, I wonder if the reference to Twin Fantasy at all deterred him from it, because I know he really wanted to not include any songs from Twin Fantasy on that album, because then he could bring it back. But at the same time, though, it's also like, I feel like it overlaps more with stuff on Teens, not Teens.
I know, because I'm thinking Teens of Style is definitely a lot more just fun.
Yeah.
And this one isn't
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's a little more bitter. It's a lot more bitter than...
It is. I love it for it.
Yeah. Okay, well, you talk about... I feel like I'm letting you talk very much. I've been talking a lot.
I love the ending to this song. Because throughout, it's like, hope you enjoy, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, this is your bed. I hope you enjoy it, right? That's like the part in the parentheses, enjoy. I hope you enjoy it. And then at the end, it switches it around, saying, this is my bed. How do you do? I hope I enjoy my nothing. And I think I really love that shift in it. I'm a sucker for shifts like that, where he just turns it back around on himself. And I'm curious now. I always was unsure. I think he says, how do you do? Does he say how do you do it?
I think how do you do it, like how do you deal with this? How do you live like this?
Is it? We're going to determine this right now, because those two lines can be interpreted wildly different. So I'm just going to look at what the official thing on his Spotify is. But I really like... Yeah, oh no, it's just how do you do?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so because this whole time, he's just kind of like, get over it, you know. He's just being bitter. This song is it's a very bitter song. And then at the end, that how do you do kind of makes it feel like he's reaching out again to him. Yeah. Because now the bitterness is getting to him, and it's not just him projecting it onto someone else. He's now having to face the fact that, you know, he's also made his own bed, and it's not a great situation for him either. And looking at the other person and reveling in their languishes, I don't know if that's the right word, pains,
yeah,
lamentations, and sort of just getting through it by watching your ex suffer because you're petty like that is no longer enough for him.
No, I think it's a very interesting turnaround. I never really thought about it, but yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's also that's probably the best song on the album that wasn't in Teens of Style, I'd say. Because I don't know, I think of that a lot.
Yeah, and then going along with this whole idea of because it's the verse, you used to have a future, now you don't even have a past. I feel like he's just trying his best to just completely forget about this person. Like, this person is not anything.
Yeah.
Like, used to have a future, like, they used to think about their future together, right? Now you don't even have a past. They're gone. We were never a thing. I feel like it's such a petty thing after a breakup or something to just be like, we weren't even, like, a real thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the vibe I'm getting here. Just the pettiest things you can think of, that's what this song is.
Yeah. I think that's what's interesting about this album in general, is how, like, it's either really petty, but then sometimes it's just, like, seems to forget about that. Like, Times to Die feels entirely disconnected from, like, the relationship aspect of it. Like, it seems really,
it's more just him bemoaning himself.
Yeah, talking about
how everyone else is having a normal life and
yeah,
getting jobs, like real jobs, and he's...
Yeah, then Mod Gone and Los Borrachos. I mean, Los Borrachos feels like Los Borrachos has the whole I miss you part, so that kind of leaps it back in. Yeah, I like that part a lot too. That song's so good.
I don't have any hope left.
And then Mod Gone is like entirely, it's kind of more just like philosophical almost. So it's like you have like Romantic Theory, Misheard Lyrics, Overexposed, Souls, Sleeping with Strangers, Achre is like the story of it, and then you just have these other songs that are just kind of like linking in, but they're not super connected.
Do you have like a deep take on Mod Gone?
No, it just seems like it's just musing. I like it a lot, just the musing parts of it.
Yeah,
because I like how it's like I know there's a full moon every night. It's just not always bright. I like that part a lot. And when I dress black, it snows white. I don't really have any take on what it means. The mod part is. I think that's a reference.
I think that's just a name.
Yeah, like a name for like a romantic partner, or just a name for.
Yeah, that's what I assume. Just a stand-in name.
I don't know. I think it's. I don't know. I think it's really good though. It's just. It's a hard song to pick apart. It's kind of vague. It's kind of like Palace Brothers. I know you don't like that, but
he's a cinematographer.
I mean, it's deeper than that. It means I don't know. I like that. I'll restate that album is a 9 out of 10, and even if you give it a 3, that doesn't change. That's a 9 out of 10. Oh, my leg, it's like cramped. Okay. Did we ever explain why we're in here?
No, we don't need to.
We don't need to explain. Well, we're in the bedroom today. Do you sleep on this?
I don't. I sleep out on the couch.
Oh. Okay.
So
I was about to say, like, you live the chill life. You're sleeping in a hammock every night.
Just chill life.
Yeah.
What, if you don't mind me asking now, dear, is your top 3 from Monomania?
Wait, okay. Before we go to that, we need to talk about Achre, right?
We don't need to talk about Achre, right? It's long. I don't like the end of it when he's just screaming. There has been one time in my life where that is exactly what I needed to hear, and I just replayed that one specific section over and over, and that was my life at that point. But, I've grown as a person, and I don't think I'm going back there.
Yeah. No, I can't say I ever, I think the screaming part didn't hit. I think what's interesting about it is it seems like it's Will biting off more than he can chew. I don't get why people are like, oh, Achre, it's such a great song, because I think it's, like, the acoustic part is kind of, it feels, it's, like, has a couple nice lines in it, but it feels generally kind of boring, like, kind of uninspired. I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of like, okay, it's acoustic, and it sounds a little sweet. I agree with you
wholeheartely.
Like, there's no part of it where I'm like,
let me tell you, this song, it's such a drag.
That's so right. Because, like, I think it'd be the album would almost be better if you, like, fleshed out Sleeping with Strangers a little more, and then you like just ended on that, or like even doing like a shorter track, because it goes on. And the things I see what he's trying to do was making it more like almost like a prog rock kind of thing, like kind of something like Tortoise or Galaxy 500 almost. I mean, not really Galaxy 500, but like something where it's just kind of like longer and drawn out. But I just don't think he had the musicianship or equipment to do that, and so it kind of just drags on because he doesn't have. In order to do something like that, you need more subtlety, and his instruments, his tools they had were not capable of producing that kind of subtlety. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you listen to prog rock. Have you listened to prog rock, or I guess
not
post rock?
Knowingly.
I mean, post rock is I think the prog rock's like Pink Floyd. I mean, post rock is what I mean. Like it's like do you know what's that one Black Emperor? You like we raise our fists, skinny fists.
I don't know it then.
You don't know it.
Anyways, just keep saying what you're saying.
It's just he was trying to do something that was more post rock, kind of longer form, and less lyrics. But I feel like that's not really what Car Seat Headrest is about. And I think that's the other thing where, like, with Souls, he was trying to do something more sonically diverse. But I feel like the best parts of the album are when he just kind of doubles down and it includes that new production, that new cool stuff, like with Los Borrachos and Mod Gone and that kind of stuff that wasn't on Twin Fantasy. Twin Fantasy is pretty bare bones with like what it's using. Like it's mostly it's just drums, bass, guitar. Like it has a couple of parts where it includes like effects and synths and stuff. I think not really that much, honestly. It's mostly just those basic elements.
I can't. Does it even use synths outside of Hide to Death?
Isn't there like? Is there in the original? Are there synths on Nervous Young Inhumans? I
could see that being true. I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, like I feel like there might be, but I'm entirely unsure. I like because I know there's definitely on the second part. No, I don't think there is. I don't think
there's any synths actually.
Yeah, I think it's all just drums, bass, guitar, and then there's some like reverb on Hide to Death.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of reverb.
Yeah, which is so interesting because then here he's like using a lot more like different stuff. There's a lot more stuff going on, and I think he should have just stuck with that because like on Achre, it's really trying hard to be epic and long, but it doesn't have the tools to make that subtlety feel fulfilling. That length feel fulfilling. Because a lot of what I feel like I go to Car Seat Headrest for is for those little like quips, those little
the great writing.
The great writing. I mean, like it's okay. You can't like raise your eye. That's great writing, right?
The great writing.
Okay.
No, I agree with you 100%.
It's good lyricism. So I feel like it's for catchy good lyrics and melodies and stuff. And so when you get to like Achre, it's like
these are good lyrics. I should charge $1 per thought.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's basically my thoughts on that. It's an acoustic part that's kind of like contrived, doesn't feel that exciting, and then a long post rock part that isn't also not very fulfilling because of the LD. It's just. I don't get the love for Achre at all. I think it's just kind of...
Is there love?
On, like, certain places, like the subreddit. I know the subreddit has a lot of people who are, like, Achreite crazy. It's so heartfelt and, like...
Like, I could see people going crazy over Souls.
Souls is cool. I mean, I feel like Souls is, like, if you're comparing them, it's, like, Souls is, like, the Beach Life and Death, where it's a little more, like, fast-paced and fun. Then Achreite's closer to the Famous Prophets, where it's kind of more, like... You gotta think about it, you know?
I guess.
But like,
I wouldn't want to compare those two songs.
Yeah, no, because it's just both of them just like are fail. Like the long songs on this one are not what you come to it for.
No.
Monomania. Yeah, no, I'm glad you don't like Achreite. Because I was afraid
thought I would.
I thought you'd be like...
It's the best song ever!
I know.
It's so beautiful, my tears!
Yeah, because I just feel like the people who are like Achreite are like so like, oh, he goes from being like trying to fake not being bitter to being bitter about it. I'm just like, it's not that deep. Like, yeah, because that's what it is. Is like he goes like, I'm moving on, hope someone loves you very much, and then he gets to like the end.
Like it's like, a great sentiment.
Like, well, yeah, but then he like takes it back at the
end.
He does
take it back,
and then people are like, oh, that's so deep because it shows that it's hard to move on. And I'm like, I get that. It's not that deep. That's my whole.
Feel free to add us. Car Seat Headrest subreddit.
Yeah, I want to see someone try to defend Achreite because you can't do it. It's just a bad song. It's like I'd say it's a 4 out of 10 song. It has some nice parts in the long instrumental part, and like overall the construction is fair, but it's just like it's not. It doesn't hit.
Yeah, I mean I agree with you.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
I think I'm more pro Achreite than you are.
You think so?
I don't think I hate it as much as you do.
I don't hate it. I just think it's just not good. Like, I mean, I feel like
I'd give it a 5, not a 4.
I give it a 5, not a 4. Okay, I see. Yeah, no, I don't hate it. I'm just like, and I feel like it's also annoying how like most of the time when people criticize it, they're like talking about how like, oh, it's transphobic or something. Have you seen that?
Oh, because it has the death of the lady man.
Yeah, and it says like it's such a drag, kind of like lingo over drag or something like that.
That's
like that's.
We're talking about William Toledo here.
Yeah, I don't think he's transphobic.
I don't think he has a phobic bone in his body.
Yeah, and like even if it was, there's so much more to dislike about the song other than that. There's so many other reasons to be like, why are you even saying it's so great? I just think it's. I don't think you have to cancel it out of your heart and like.
No, I hate it because I love trans people.
Wait.
Do the thumbs.
Do
the
it.
thumbs.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. So.
Top 3 songs.
Top 3 songs. Do you want to go first? I feel like I've been talking for a little bit.
Yeah, I can go first. Number 3 for me, I'm going with Sleeping with Strangers.
Number 3? Shoot. I think I would choose Overexposed for number 3.
Okay.
I guess we already talked about all the songs.
Yeah, we already talked about all of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I think very, very solid. It's a bop. Not quite in the top ranks though. What are you doing? Number 2.
Number 2, I'm saying is Mod Gone.
Same. That's my number 2.
That saxophone.
Yeah. No. I wonder if that's is that MIDI or is that? I'm gonna listen to that. No, I mean that's a good saxophone.
It is a good saxophone.
You're just gonna cut straight to me going like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 1, you already know, Overexposed.
Yeah.
I think that's the heart of the album.
I assume.
I think with the Overexposed, it wouldn't be the same album. I think it would also be a track shorter.
It would be a track shorter. I think the Overexposed. I agree. It's one on the list. I think it's the most like quintessential. It's like, this is what the album's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is him being bitter and petty and sad and just bemoaning.
With that being said, Los Barachos is a bop. That's my top one. I don't
That's
care.
fair.
That's kind of like.
I do really love the parents.
Yeah, the parent
stanza.
Parents. Yeah, that's so funny. No, and like it's just so fun.
It is.
It's like then like the I miss you. It's just and then I like how it really kind of it expands the sound of Car Seat Headrest a lot, but it feels like it's more subtle.
Okay.
You know, like I feel like it's not like oh wow, here's this big new thing. It's like this is just like a better band now. Like everything sounds tighter, everything sounds nicer.
Yeah, he's just better now.
Yeah, so I like that about it. I think it's just like you could show a song to anybody and they'd be like, yeah, I like it. You know what I mean? Except for I think I played it in the car with my sister and she was like, can we turn something else on? So maybe not. Anyone who's okay with lo-fi.
Car Seat Headrest is too much for some people.
I was gonna mention you can put this somewhere in the middle, because I forgot to mention that just the lo-fi production. I mentioned the production a lot. I was just gonna mention this is what I'm talking about when I mean like better lo-fi production. Lo-fi production can sound like more rich than it did on the Lost Episode album, because it's just the Lost Episode album sounded kind of flat. This one sounds a lot richer, and then it's like even while being higher fidelity, like it's about the same fidelity I'd say as the album. Like it's probably about like the
I could say they're pretty comparable.
Yeah, because like with Twin Fantasy you can make the argument that that's like a little lower fidelity, so you think it sounds more raw, but here this is like similar. It's like similar tools, but the way he mixes it is a lot more like effective.
Yeah,
like it's like I never am like, oh, this is just kind of like washing over me.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to compare those two, that was only her 4th album. This is like his 10th.
That's true. He's been making a lot of music. I'm not hating on this person.
Good.
I'm just this artist. I'm just saying like in terms of skill, I'm just saying that that's as an album, it has much better production.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, are we gonna do the scores now? I wonder. I feel like I
are you ready?
Okay.
You think you know my scores?
I always like to, I'll type it out. Oh, actually, I don't know.
You don't know yet.
This is the score I thought you were gonna give it, considering I thought you would like Anchor it. But I know you don't like Anchor it.
Wait, I'm gonna write down my guess of you too.
Okay, I'm gonna write down my guess of you.
Well, you just did.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought
I
you
put it back down because I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it. You can put it on my reminder for my work meeting because I finally got the guy to reply.
Okay.
I think I have the same one here. It feels hard because it feels like this would be one that has a half score also.
No half scores.
I don't know half
This
scores.
is Chromatic Corner.
When I don't have a half score, I round down. For your information. So now I just basically I did it again. I now they'll know what score I was going to give it. Even though I can't show it to them. I can't say.
Who cares?
Say,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
8.
6.
6? You're giving a 6?
I'm giving it a 6.
Really? That's so interesting. I'm so surprised. I thought you were going to give it like either an 8 or a 9. Wow.
Like, it's a solid listen. I recommend listening to it. I will not listen to it as a whole probably after this. I will pick the handful of good songs.
Really? But I feel like the fact it has a handful, I guess that's why you give it a 6.
Yeah.
That's so interesting because I feel like the good songs are so good.
Look, I'm deciding now, 3 episodes in, to be a little more strict with my rating.
Yeah. No, I'm just surprised because I feel like the same thing is I don't listen to New Warm Mountain Dragon New Warm Mountain. I don't listen to that all the way through. I pick out the whatever song I'm feeling. But I guess like they're all good songs.
Yeah, I'm a very heavy like album listener. I listen to albums.
I listen to albums too.
I don't really listen to playlists that much. But I'll listen to like individual songs sometimes.
Yeah, I don't listen to playlists ever.
But
yeah, that's interesting. No, I'm surprised. I just didn't expect it to be that harsh.
I don't think it's harsh. Like, that's still good. I think it's a good album.
You put it below the other.
I do like the other one better.
Really? No. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I'm just thinking like when I think about it, I don't think it can be less than 8 just because of the Times to Die and Overexposed and Los Borrachos and Mod Gone and Sleeping with Strangers, like all that. Those songs hit so hard that like if it was those songs, and Romantic Theory hits really hard. Like in context, it's just I guess like Misheard Lyrics and Achre are like kind of lame, but I can listen to them. Souls is fun. I like Souls can be a bop at times.
I don't like Souls.
You like Souls? Yeah. It's just interesting. I didn't expect you. I expected you maybe the lowest of 7.
Wait, so what do you think I was gonna say?
I thought before
8?
coming in here, I thought you were gonna say 9.
Dang.
I thought you were just kind of like a simp for car seat.
No, I thought you were gonna give it a 7.
I was gonna go 7. Yeah. No, I thought it was an 8. I think I say Twin Fantasy's a 9. This is an 8. Well, actually, if Twin Fantasy's a 9, maybe this has to be a 7. It's too late. I've already made it my canon score. I can't take it back.
I'll be honest. I did hesitate while saying it. I did kind of pull you and round down.
Yeah, like you think I would say like 6.5 would be like what you'd think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
good thing I'm cutting that part.